All right, Dean Legge from Dog Post here, recapping Georgia's loss 35-28 to number 1 Alabama. So I've seen this, everyone watching this has seen this. 3 times in the last 6 years, Georgia painfully losing to Alabama in what was either the biggest game of the year or one of the biggest games of the year and all this stuff. So, they had plenty of momentum. Georgia certainly was the better team for the bulk of the game, not the whole game. And then, amazingly, when Tua gets hurt is when Alabama turns it on. Tua did not play really well tonight. I mean, he was 10 of 25, 2 interceptions. He was sacked twice. I mean, I've got a Heisman Trophy vote. I'm not supposed to say what I do there, but he struggled tonight. And I still think he'll probably win the Heisman, but for Georgia, it's gut-wrenching. You outgain them. Really, you outplay them. And Matt DeBerry and I have been talking about this a lot as we've walked around the massive facility that is this Mercedes-Benz, the Georgia Dome's replacement. And it's easy in the moment to say Georgia will never get past this. That's the natural reaction to have after a loss like this. The more nuanced thing to say is they're going to need to beat Alabama, period. It's not that it won't ever happen, it's that it's going to be a struggle every time. And this is as soon as Georgia beats Alabama, and that will happen, they're going to play each other a lot these next few years. As soon as they do that, you're going to see I shouldn't use this term, but you're going to see a war for a long time. It's going to be a metaphorical war. The two states are not similar in many ways. The two fan bases are not similar, and the only thing that they're similar about is their passion for their team. And we're seeing already what looks like the start. I thought it was going to be Georgia-Florida for a long time, but it is clearly going to be Georgia and Alabama fighting one another. I mean, Nick Saban, from what I understand, I was not there, shook the hands of every single kid that walked into his locker room. I don't think that that's common for Nick to do. And Alabama should be proud. This was a hell of a win. I mean, their last 2 wins over Georgia, they have been pushed absolutely to the limit. They're champions. I don't think that I think you have to acknowledge that. For Georgia, I love the way that Jake Fromm played. He really, really played well, man. Jake Camarda really punted well, had a few touchbacks. J.R. Reed played very well. DeAndre Baker played very well. Georgia played really well. And they lost a game to a team that tonight was better than them in the closing moments of the game. And they have done this to people a lot, particularly Georgia. But this doesn't feel to me the way that Florida-Georgia was for so long, for 15 years. It doesn't feel that way at all. This feels much more like someone's trying to topple the king. Someone's trying to slice the king's head off. They can't quite do it. And that's where we're at right now. If anyone thinks that this is going to be a simple thing, getting rid of Alabama, a program that since 2009 has won 6 national championships, 9, how many, Matt? 9, 11, 12, 14, no, 13, I don't know, a lot. Right, so, I'm sorry, 9, 11, 12, last year, 15, so at least 5. That's a lot. That's more than anybody else has won the SEC. It's a lot. So this is not going to be easy. Now, let me get to my... So I thought Georgia played like champions tonight. They're just not champions right now because of who they played. They lost the game. I think that you're going to see from here on out, this program is champion built. They're just going to have to win championship games, and they might have to do it a few times in a season. Now, and this is where I'm going to go with this. I have a lot of Clemson friends. I do. It's a program to be admired. But you cannot say that Georgia is in the same situation as everybody else is. And you can't say the same thing about Alabama either. If these two teams are going to be this good, that they are playing what amounts to a quarterfinal game for one of them, is really a disingenuous way to come up with a top 4. If this, and this is my point, if you are Ohio State and you're playing Northwestern, if you're Clemson and you're playing Pittsburgh, if you're Georgia, you're playing Alabama. That's where you're at. And Alabama's playing you. That Bama was playing with house money tonight. Had they lost, they would still be in. I don't think anybody has any confusion about that. But there has to be a recognition from the committee at some stage here that is it the best 4 teams, or is it what you conventionally have gotten used to? I think Oklahoma has a very good case. They've beaten every team they played this season. Alabama is undefeated. Clemson and Notre Dame are undefeated. Is Notre Dame really better than Georgia? I mean, I'm asking a serious question here. Is Notre Dame really better than this Georgia team we saw tonight? Is Oklahoma better than Georgia? Ohio State, look, bro, you can't get beat by 30, so goodbye. This is the world we live in, and it has to be decided by the committee. What is the real parameter here? Is this based on wins and losses exclusively? And if that's the case, Clemson is always going to be in the playoff because they are never going to get challenged. That league is dysfunctional and bad. They're just never going to get challenged. Not with the program they have right now and the conference they play in. It's not running them down. It's just the truth. And then, I mean, my beef is not with, my beef was with Notre Dame. I personally do not think that they are one of the top. I do not think they're one of the top 5 teams in the country. I would take Oklahoma over them. I would probably take Ohio State over them. But the Irish are undefeated, and they don't play in the SEC, and they don't have to confront this beast matchup that we saw tonight between these 2 heavyweight fighters. And the other thing, I guess I'll try to close on this, and I know a lot of people are going to watch this, and they know I'm the about complete opposite of Larry Munson, but it takes perseverance, fight, everything, and for Novak Djokovic to fight his way through Rafael Nadal, through Roger Federer, to claim the #1 spot in the world, that took him years. Michael Jordan had to fight through those Pistons, man. He had to go do it. And this Georgia team is going to have to fight through Alabama. That's all there is to it. This is not going to be anything other than that. They both are going to have to confront one another. This is going to be, more often than not, what we see in the future. If I were the SEC East, I would be no more comforted tonight than I was when Georgia whipped my ass by 14 points. If I'm the West, I would say I'm not very interested in playing Georgia unless we get to play them at home and we're a top 10 team. This is a Georgia team to be reckoned with. Alabama knows Georgia's coming. They're both really good programs. I just want to know what the rules are. Are the rules the best 4 teams, or is it the conventional way that we've done things in college football for such a long time? Last year was the best 4 teams. And if it's the best 4 teams this year, it really does, it should be Georgia. All right, Dean Legge wrapping up Georgia's 35-28 loss to Alabama. We'll see you soon when they announce where Georgia's playing.